Okay, as you can see, my John Deere zero turn is in the garage. It's been washed. And it's actually looking halfway decent. No, I'm not selling it. I'm going to be doing some transaxle maintenance on the machine, and it's a lot nicer working on a clean machine versus a dirty machine. The issues I'm having, I've got whiny transaxles. So usually when a hydrostatic starts to whine, it means one of two things. One's bad and one's good. The first one, being the good, is just getting low on oil. The bad, they are failing. I'm hoping in this case here they're not failing, since they both do still function. I'm hoping they're just low on oil. They do have a vent, so they can vent oil out of them. So potentially they did vent a little bit too much oil out, and they are low on oil. That's what I'm hoping. So the only issue with this particular model, they're unserviceable transaxles to the naked eye. You can service them, it's just a little bit more work to service them. In this case here, I actually have to remove the transaxles to be able to service them. I have serviced other transaxles similar to the way I will be doing these ones. Just on standard machines, they're a little bit more easy. And when I did that Kubota zero turn, it was a lot easier, since Kubota actually gave reservoirs for the transaxles. John Deere unfortunately did not at least on this model. This is a homeowner's model, so it's nothing huge, nothing overly special, but it definitely needs a service, and I should be able to service the transaxles without any issues. So what has to happen? Obviously the back tires have to come off. Gotta get the machine up in the air. It's 8 bolts holding the transaxles into place, and they will come out together as one unit. Obviously, you got to take the belt off. You got to release a couple pins for the forward and reverse handles and the brakes. It's not overly big job to get this out. It's just going to be a little bit difficult because it's going to be down on the ground. I don't have a lift to actually put this machine up in the air. I do have a chain in the ceiling right there, going around the main beam of the garage. I'm not going to hang the entire weight of the machine off of that. I'll just be using that to help stabilize the machine. Because being a zero turn, all the weight's pretty much at the back. You don't have much weight at the front. So I'll put jack stands underneath at the back, as close to the back as I can get on each side. And I will put a strap around that chain in the ceiling just to help stabilize the machine so it doesn't want to tip backwards, cause any damage to the engine once the transaxles are out, or fall off entirely and cause damage as well, or make it more difficult to get the transaxles back into place. So once they're out, normally what I would do is I would run the machine to help circulate the oil. Obviously, having to pull the transaxles out, I won't be able to do that. So I'll have to use a drill with a socket to spin the actual transaxles once I fill them with oil. I'll let them sit about 12 hours. They should, for the most part, bleed themselves. But like I said, I will spin the pulleys and run them a little bit, just to help get the oil down in and let it soak in and let it get through the system. Pretty much the same as what I've done on other machines in the past, and I have saved transaxles doing this. Transaxles that people have pretty much given up on, I have saved by doing this. John Deere does specify an oil for the transaxle, 15W50, I believe it is. I do have some. Normally I would use 10W30 in these, so that's pretty much what I'm going to use. I'm going to use what John Deere says to use, and I should be okay. They're not completely empty, they're just starting to get low. Like I said, the machine does run, drive, and cut, and I can get my entire lawn done before it starts acting up. So it's basically, once it's getting hot, there's not enough oil in there, it's basically cavitating itself and it's losing pressure. So I'm hoping by filling the systems back up, we'll save these transaxles. I'll be able to cut my lawn and then some with this machine without any issues. Also, when I was looking underneath the machine, one transaxle potentially looks newer than the other. I'm not sure. I'll have to wait and see once I get them out and see what they look like. They both could be original. It's really hard to say. This machine isn't high hours, it isn't low hours, it's in the middle. It's kind of high for a homeowner machine, but again, it's in the middle. It's not too terribly bad for hours. So it's definitely time for a service on the transaxles, and hopefully I can save them without too much of an issue. So I'll talk to them later. Please keep it redneck like always, and please subscribe and comment.